Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today with another review of a new line of products, Henson Shaving. All right, we are all lathered up with, again, the most boring soap in the world, I know. The Parasa White for sensitive skin. Got the pre-shave on, the shave cream, and we use the Razor Emporium shave brush. And we are going, it's a whiteout, because everything here is white. We got the Henson shaving packaging, it's whited out as well. So, Henson Shaving out of Canada. Here is the packaging, proudly made in Canada. Very simple 3-piece razor. Some nice little care instructions. Real simple, I liked it. Very nice. Comes with a pack of Astra Green blades. And of course, the razor. This is the model that is right around $70 US. It's the aircraft aluminum model. Kind of a real interesting looking head. Reminds me of an old Russian razor that the Pils model was actually based off of. You guys know the Pils German razor. It was actually based off of a Russian model from like the 80s. It's very obscure. This looks kind of similar. Gonna go ahead and load it up with the Perma-Sharp. So I mean, the first thing to note is the weight. Being aluminum, it is very lightweight. I think this is like 1.3 ounces. Another kind of nice little feature is this stainless steel insert right here on the guard base plate, so that as you thread on your handle, you don't have aluminum on aluminum contact. So they have many models that are color finishes, anodized. And if you had that aluminum on aluminum, you'll actually scratch that anodization off, and that will lead to corrosion of the aluminum. So even natural aluminum like this has to be anodized, like clear, to more or less lock up the aluminum element so that oxygen doesn't combine with it to create oxidation or corrosion, whatever you want to call it. So it also very interesting looking kind of guard exposure, that the blade tabs are covered, and then the edge of the blade is kind of not the edge of the razor head. It has this little kind of post over here that's guarding it, I guess, so you can't accidentally nick yourself, let's say back along your ear. It's a real common place. I've done it many times. Kind of go like this and you catch your ear. But that also means that shaping is going to probably be, I'm just guessing, shaping is going to be a little bit harder because the edge is not really the edge. So something to note. Handle is fairly long. I would call this a long handle razor. Some people may think it's more normal, but if you compare this to any Gillette razor, this would be on one of the longest handles Gillette ever made. Nicely finished, again, aluminum, very lightweight. Very mild, wow. I'm having flashbacks, guys. The helicopters. I'm having flashbacks of that King Gillette razor. It's very nice. I would say it's actually a little more aggressive than the King Gillette razor that we reviewed a few weeks ago. But it's more mild than, let's say, a DE89. It's extremely comfortable. I would underline the word safety with this razor. It is a very safe razor, and if that's what they're going for, they have achieved it. It's providing a nice clean shave, so it's a great blade angle, it's a great exposure. I just know that in our world of razor lovers out there, that a lot of people like the aggressive feel. But it's very comfortable. So one big thing these guys talk about is blade chatter. I watched a video on their website where they kind of, well, it's their supposition, it's their argument that the reason that people get ingrown hairs and they get razor irritation is because the actual blade is able to move from one shave to the next when you load and unload the blade, that there's kind of a lot of wiggle room and tolerances, and he kind of shows like rocking back and forth the cap and the guard on some other brand of razor and showing how much different of exposure you can potentially have. So what he's saying is that from any one given shave to the next, you're not going to have that consistency. And so because of that, these guys have focused very heavily on their tolerances and the quality of their machining. So it's a Canadian company, and they say that the parts are manufactured at the same place that a bunch of like Mars Rover and NASA satellite stuff is all made. And so it's real high tolerance pieces. Other projects I guess this machine shop works on is like the International Space Station and the satellite LEO. So I guess they're really tying together their connection with the contracted shop they've used and the quality of product and subsequently the quality of shave you're going to get. I don't think that's necessarily a wrong idea, that the blade rocking back and forth can definitely lead to inconsistent results. I think that's more than obvious. But I think that there's a lot of reasons people get ingrown hairs. I was commenting earlier before we started that the Janus razor that I used, it had great tolerances. The blade didn't move at all. But I had ingrown hairs. So I think obviously the dimensions of the razor play a huge part too. Your blade exposure, blade gap, all that kind of thing. Positive exposure, negative exposure. It's not like it's a one variable answer. But that's one of their things. They're really focusing on the quality of their machining, and I think that's great. I'm glad that they are making something in Canada. And it's very affordable. Again, at $70 for a Canadian-made razor that's nicely finished. I was commenting again that I think it looks like the handle is bead blasted, is my guess, or glass bead blasted. And then the cap looks like it's been brush finished, or, maybe tumbled, but I think definitely brush finished. You can see the grain. It's beautiful. I think aluminum's a great option for a budget razor. Just a little bit on the mild side. I would say that it's almost, it's not quite the Gillette, but it is just taking more force. I'm having to push harder to really get what I want to have happen. And my neck's getting a little bit blotchy down here from just pushing and going over it multiple times trying to get it to cut. But if you're a beginner or someone with really sensitive skin, maybe this is the perfect razor for you. So this is a new line that we're gonna try out for the Emporium, you know. All the time I get asked to bring on products, or I'll see a product on Instagram or Facebook and I'm like, hey, I want that. I want to try that out. And sometimes I want to try just to use it. I'm like, hey, I really want to shave with that. But most of the time I'm like, hey, why don't we do both? Let's put an order in. We'll try it out. We'll use it for a review like this, and we'll sell it. And if it sells really well, and our customers like it, okay, we'll keep on stocking it. If not, okay, well, we tried it out. Better to try and not like than to never try at all, right? Kind of Shakespearean. So, not the most amazing shave of my life, not by far the worst. Just a little bit mild for my preference, even with my favorite blade in it. I don't think they have different guards, but if they did, I would want to have, because there is some like little weird markings. There's like a plus on the inside of the cap and on the guard, and like a lot number 003. That could just be manufacturing stuff to keep track of what parts are, what batch or lot number or the other processes are doing. But I would, if they did a multi-plate thing, I would probably pick whatever plate's above this. If you're starting off, I think this is a great razor, or if you're making the switch from cartridges, this may be a nice choice. Other thing I'm just actually noticing now that I'm done shaving, the shape of the guard lather holes didn't really unload very well, and that could have actually contributed to the sensation of being too mild and not cutting it. Maybe it's just clogged up. But anyway, that's just something I always look at with the razors. How did it unload the lather? There's actually still lather stuck in here. It's a very interesting guard look. In fact, I was guessing how they made it. I think they made this through extrusion, is my guess. They kind of like a spaghetti maker. You push a piece of aluminum through the profile, and you'll get that really interesting shape. I mean, it's very unique. But because it has this little hooked covered area, it's a perfect place for lather to build up. So I wonder if they thought about that, or they had the experience like I did, where it had just a ton of lather inside when I took it apart just now. Not trying to be overly critical. I'm really happy that they are making a quality product and that it's made in Canada, and it shaves decently. Built very, very nicely. I can tell it's excellent machining work, nice finishing work. But I don't want to just be the guy who likes everything and says everything's great, right? I think you guys have come to respect that. I kind of call it like it is, at least in my own personal opinion. My truth. No, there's no such thing, right? Just the fact that it's my opinion, right? And take it for what it's worth. I try to think of my beard like a very good barometer for other people. Apparently, what shaves good for me shaves good for other people, and people who like stuff I like, But there's plenty of people that think that I'm a weird case, and they'll tell me that the Rex Ambassador is way too aggressive, or they'll tell me that how could I like this other razor, or how could I not like a razor that I didn't like? I don't know. So each to their own, right? That's all I got. If you've heard of Henson, if you've seen other multicolored razors, I think they have, blue and purple and all sorts of other finishes. Tell me below in the comments all about what you think about Henson and what you thought about my shave and what my comments did, if they inspired you or if they offended you or whatever you think. Tell me below. I want to hear from you. And if you do leave a comment, you're entered in to win this, the official Razor Emporium black and blue t-shirt. We thank you so much for stopping by our channel today. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and come back next time for all things vintage shaving. Thanks, guys.